So good morning everybody. It is still just morning here in Victoria. I'm trying to run and
14 minutes, 37 seconds, distance 2.02 kilometers, workout average pace 7 minutes, 14 seconds per kilometer.
I'm trying to record a show and make some running video as I traverse the trails of Mount Doug. This is the lower trail at the base of the mountain. This one's called Mount Douglas Creek Trail, and I'm just approaching the main washroom and parking area of the park. I'll start to record video when I get to the fake bridges, and hopefully if my batteries last I'll be able to record on my point and shoot camera me running and eventually hiking to the summit of Big Mount Doug. After that I'm going to be running to the store for some wine for tonight. Norma and I are going to have a little dinner party for ourselves tonight. Today is day 12 of the run streak. I just started my chrono, excuse me, about, I would say, thank you, 4 minutes in to my recording, so I'll have to bear that in mind. When I want to check the length of this recording. Once I get away from Cordova Bay Road, which is on my right, I'll be in the silent section of the forest. So, day 12. It doesn't feel any worse than day 3, to tell you the truth. I think day 2 is my best day. In terms of speed, running speed, that's when I ran the second day at Lambrick. That's the day I ran with Deb. Oh, excuse me, this is a hike section. Just wrapping up some of my extraneous cables. I'm not wearing earbuds today just because I've got too much else going on. I don't want to be totally tangled.
Steady.
As it is, I have the cord from my clip-on mic running up my sleeve. Today, the clip-on mic will be useful. Hello. Hi. Because it'll leave my hands free to operate the stick. Hello. Hi. Hello. Which has been christened the selfie stick, which is not, in fact, the best use, in my opinion, for this heavy device. Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Even though it gives you the option of taking a selfie. Hi. It also gives you the option of removing the shake from your running action video hike. I'm planning to start my video capture in about 5 minutes. So bear with me. There will eventually be a link to this video, which I will probably post to the Zen Runners Slow Running Club website. Slow Runners Club, I think, is the correct title for this splendid podcast. But yeah, I have posted a couple of daily update
Average pace, 7 minutes, 23 seconds per kilometer.
to the comments to various posts at the site, but there's always going to be a slight problem. If you click on the link, it'll ask you probably to join the Spreaker community, which I can assure you is a trouble-free process, and free being the operative word. I have not spent a single cent on Spreaker, even though they've been kind enough to give me almost unlimited access to their platform. This is a hike section, so she might tell me to go faster, but I can't at the moment run up this steep hill. But I can start thinking about getting out my camera equipment now.
Faster.
Okay, lady. Don't get your knickers in a twist, as they say. So, I have to remember how to operate this camera now. Okay, that came on. That's good. The video screen is on. As you can hear, I'm just walking so I don't drop all my priceless equipment. Besides, I've had a pretty tough week this week. This could be my easiest run of the week, even though it might be one of the longer ones. Okay, so we want video, and let's just see what happens now. It's recording. Those are my feet. And this is the quiet section of the forest. I've always wanted to explore that trail, but it doesn't look terribly runner-friendly. Alright, so now I'm going to flip the camera so that the heavy part is hanging down, and continue recording with the stick extended. Okay, so this is what the stick does in terms of smoothing the run action. It also gives you the option of panning around the scene. If you have the camera mounted above the stick, there is the extra weight, which makes it a little bit unwieldy to hold, because it keeps wanting to flip. I'll probably use the audio from the camera today, as there seems to be little to no wind in here. You can see the deciduous trees just beginning to pop with their bright green foliage. Now these are those fake wooden bridges. One, two, and three. I'm using a simple point and shoot camera screwed onto the unipod. This is the hike section. I'll flip the camera over for a few seconds of self imagery. Have to undo the locking nut, flip it over, and then tighten up the locking nut. Still hiking, as you can see, but now you will be seeing the view, the view behind me as I start to climb again onto the Whittaker Trail. There is somebody up ahead with a dog. Let me flip this over again. there. As you can see, this is quite steep. But when it flattens off, I am obliged to run. Hello. I hope the dog doesn't react badly to the stick. Hello. Hello, doggy. Hi. Good dog. Yeah, that was a well-trained animal. He didn't try and jump up and bite me. So, this is where I join Whittaker. The dog wants to follow me.
Yeah.
Are you going to the summit?
No, we're just going around the base.
Okay. So I'm just coming up on little elephant rock. Yeah, still recording, still filming, I should say. This section is a little treacherous. I always slow down there because I have tripped in the past. So this is Little Elephant Rock. Hello.
Faster.
So now it becomes a climb to the top. So this video is probably quite long enough now to edit down, take out some of the quieter sections. One more flip and we're done. Okay, you probably see the stick right now, but that doesn't really matter because it's all not supposed to be an illusion, but it's obvious when you see the video that the camera is on a stick, so you might as well see what it looks like. I think that, whoops, it just flipped itself. Okay, well that's alright. I just have to remember to invert the image. That's where the iMovie editor comes into play. There's a buzzard, a turkey vulture, beautiful bird. You're about halfway up Mount Doug. You can see it looming away in the distance. There's a dog again. That's the nice thing about Mount Doug. When it gets to this kind of stuff, we're all traveling at the same speed. No real need for the stick when you're not jerking around too much. I know that videos are incredibly data dense files, so I will probably shorten this video just to make it a quicker upload. Alright, so there's the turkey vulture way off in the distance.
Halfway to your goal.
Halfway to my goal.
Faster.
Okay, faster in a minute. This is my neighborhood. This is my playground. So, this is the running jackal doing a little bit of pole dancing here. Wishing you all a wonderful week of training. Bye bye. Yep, that's done. Now I have to put the camera away and not drop it. Well, that's going to be pretty good. I think it might well be my longest YouTube video to date, but as I say, I can shorten it at will. But the nice thing about editing with the sound on the clips is that you can know precisely the synchrony will be in the right spot, so to speak. If you're using audio from an external recorder, you have to box a little bit clever with the overlap. You can always mute one of the audios. You don't really want to try and synchronize them both. That would be almost impossible to do. Alright, so it's all fours now. Climbing. I have to use my hands and my legs for a little while now. I'm just putting away the Unipod, and I hope you've all been inspired to try and video with a stick. But as I said to Norman, don't drop your phone. If you're using your priceless, invaluable go-to device, you don't really want to trip on a route and smash your brand new iPhone. So I recommend you all go to Walmart or the like and buy yourself the cheapest point and shoot video regular camera. They all have video these days, but yeah, for $60 you can get yourself a pretty decent camera that, if you did drop on the trail, would not be such a bummer on your day. I had two of these cameras once, and I left one behind in my pannier bag on the bike, and somebody went through my sweaty cycling gear and change of clothes, and took my camera. That's all they took. The rest they just left on the ground next to the bike in contempt of the shoddy quality of my equipment. But they did take the camera. It did have batteries. The one thing I miss is that it had 32 megabyte, or is it gigabyte? 32 megabyte, I think it is, card in it. A honking great memory card that could hold 15-20 minutes of video. Easy. The one I have in the camera now is probably a 12. enough for 20 minutes maybe. Depending on the battery would probably run out before the card memory. That's another thing. I was listening to Jim, and he's right. You know, you try and use the best of breed in every situation. If you're recording audio, use the Sony. If you're recording video on the run, use a point and shoot. If you're recording while running on trails, use a stick. I don't think there's much in the different qualities of stick. I'm sure they're all almost identical. So I can see the crow's nest lookout from this run, the summit of Mount Doug. I will probably take a quick 360 from the top, as I'm sure I still have batteries and space on my card. Yep, this is when I'm expecting her to say faster a fair bit. I don't have the auto pause on. I am running out the week. The rustling you can hear is me groping for my camera. I think I saw these people on one of the lower trails. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because like, what am I gonna do during the day otherwise? Yeah.
Hello. So that's Seattle down there, isn't it?
Oh, you can't see Seattle.
No.
Not from here, but it'd be in that direction.
That way.
That's the Puget Sound down there?
Okay.
And that would be what?
That's right here. We've got all the
Oh, yeah.
directions. And
Seattle 120,
direction.
Everett, yeah. Port Townsend. That's cool.
So Port Angeles, you can usually
Port
see.
Angeles, you
Yeah,
can see.
that's on the Olympic Peninsula, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Well, I gotta keep moving. I'm supposed to be training. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello. This is the running action without the stick. It's a lot easier to manage, but you do get the shakiness. But I found that if you turn the camera back on your belly or somewhere around your mid-section, the shaking is far less distracting because the bulk of the object in front of you is not shaking. So as I head down towards Glendenning Trail, you will see that the car park is still empty of cars. They haven't opened the gate yet. So everybody up here has hiked up. This is where the camera will pick up way too much wind noise. So that should be my cue to stop filming. Bye-bye from Victoria on the top of Mount Douglas. Okay, so according to my watch, I have been recording for 28 plus 3, 31 minutes. So this recording will take me almost all the way to University Heights, where I will buy a nice bottle of Merlot for tonight's candlelit supper. I hope it goes as well as we want it to go. Got to concentrate here a little bit. This is a treacherous down. Glendenning down is slower than Glendenning up. Yep, the camas lilies are out in force. Also the yellow of the forsythia. I think that's what it's called, forsythia. It's either that or Scotch broom, but it might well be the same plant with a different name. They regularly have what they call a broom bash here, which they claim they want to eradicate. Hello. The invasive species. I don't know who decides what's indigenous and what's invasive. How far back do you want to go? Alright, so yep, I think I'm going to make my goal this week. I always used to give myself between 9.5 and 10.5 hours, trying not to err too much on either side of that sweet 10-hour spot. But I've calculated this run to slap me into the 9 hours 45 minutes, or probably. Seeing as I'm running to the store, I will be walking back, but I will be happy with my week. I have managed to run every day this month, and in a couple of days, well, in 3 days to be precise, we will be half completed on this rapidly becoming an easier and easier challenge as I manage my time better. I think I feel most for those people who have families and jobs to look after. I have the luxury of retirement. Every day is Saturday for me. I will be getting my faster reminders pretty soon turning to slower, because from now on the trail becomes less technical and definitely more runnable. The birds are singing nicely today. I think I will. Hang on a second, I'm just going to put on a little bit of music. No, I won't. I'll put it on later. If I put it on now, wearing the sleeve mic, there will be that annoying wah 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 as the directional mic swings past my chest area.
Minutes. 21 seconds. Distance 5 kilometers. Workout average pace 9 minutes. 52 seconds.
Hello.
Per kilometer.
Hi.
Steady.
So I set myself a 9-minute 30. I think it was 9-minute 30. Yep, 9-minute 30 pace. Based on the time and pace of last week's summit run. that I almost replicated today. I did a slightly different route today. I wanted to video the fake wooden bridges. So anybody who is a regular listener will know they'll be able to visualize in their heads, even with their eyes shut and their earbuds in, they will get the full sensory effect. I think that's what we're trying to do here in our own very humble, low-key way, is to present a unique view of something that is almost impossible to show in its real form. Adam was kind of hinting on that from his show, but yeah, I really don't agree with putting the camera down and running past it. One of the reasons that I took the auto pause off is I just needed to compare real time with filming time. If the auto pause keeps kicking in, you don't get any real time on the run. It keeps cutting out, stopping the clock. Hi. And that wouldn't be good. You have to have an accurate idea of what playing with all the toys is doing to your training. As I said to those people at the summit, you know, I am supposed to be training here. It's not just video and audio. That is where I draw the line. If the video and audio negatively impacts on my training, well, I'll just have to cut it back. Or get somebody to run with me holding the camera. Derek has done that in the past. It worked quite well, actually. Having somebody to focus on with the stick makes it even smoother. It's almost like you're floating down the trails. So this is definitely downhill. You see, she's telling me to slow down already. The rest of the run is basically pick up pace. It's when the terrain permits you to speed up. That is what pick up pace is all about. The easier the trail, the faster you run. So this is Glendenning, bearing in mind the 4 minutes where I forgot to start the watch. We have been recording for 41 minutes. Okay, so we have a ways to go yet. 41 minutes. That is the corrected. It says 37 on my watch. I've already had my halfway to my goal in terms of time. That was around the 4.5 kilometer mark.
Oh my god, you're not going to be aggressive then.
Lots of dog people out at this time of the day. I think the reason that Norman got bitten the other day was because of the stick. Dogs do not like people holding sticks Unless they're going to throw them. Hi. Unless they're going to throw them for the dog to chase. A stick to a dog is like a whip to a horse. And on top of that, my friend was talking to the camera, which would also have spooked the dog. Anyway, just a thought. I ran by a dog today and I was concerned when I had my stick.
55 minutes, 40 seconds. Distance, 6 kilometers. Workout average pace, 9 minutes, 16 seconds per kilometer.
9:16. So, yep, I've made my goal. Going too fast again for 9:30. So, I think she said 9:16. So, now that I've got most of my tech talk out of the way, I can concentrate on just running this puppy in to the University Heights shopping center, making my purchase and hiking, or walking I should say, home. If I call it hiking, I will record the time, but if I'm just walking back from the store, I won't. It would be too easy for me to pad my hours that way if I included all my shopping trips on foot. That's one of the reasons I use the bike, excuse me. That was my porridge. One of the reasons I use my bike for shopping is because it's quicker, and that way it keeps my 10 hours a week more in the realm of running than long, slow cycling to get the same training effect from long, slow cycling. I would have to go out for 3 or 4 hours. All these things you learn from just doing it, I guess, for many years. I hear an annoying click, 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 which is the fob of my zip. There's a Nissan Pathfinder. Thank you. Kind of forced the cars to stop there. All these new cars have got very good brakes. He's back on track again, you see. Hardly slowed him down. Yep, they always talk about fuel efficiency and strength, power, toughness, but really, you really need good brakes for safe motoring. They very seldom refer to the brakes, but the high performance guys, they know the meaning of good brakes. They can shave off whole seconds on other cars by just braking later and harder on the corners. Yep. Tires as well. Brakes and tires. Always the neglected refinements to performance motoring. So my watch says 43. If I add 4, it will be 47, give or take a minute or two. So we'll just run this around the corner onto Eric Road, and that will lead me from about a mile from my destination. So hopefully this show finds you all well, and that to all the April streakers, good luck. We're halfway there almost. Hi.
Hello.
The back straight is always the easiest. We're just about to turn in to the back straight. So as I turn onto Eric Road, I will say bye-bye to you and stop my recording. I can check how long it is by looking at the dial. Yeah, 47:17. That's good enough for today. Bye-bye. Would help if I turn the lock screen off. Now I can turn it off. Bye-bye.